Hi everyone, this is the last week. So this is Monday of our last week. The last day of this group is on Sunday. And I do want you to know that I do have either an extension of this group if you would like to continue with it, or if you want to be done, then you can be done. Or I also have a Lift group, a Lift 4 group, since it's launching for everyone on October 1st. So I will have a separate group for that, with the exception of if you want to be continue with this group, then I'm going to keep you in here. So it doesn't really matter what program that you're doing, but we can talk about that individually. But I will need you to register because I do things with the registration, and that's how I keep track things. So this is our last week, and I want to talk about a few things. I've got my notes here. I went through the registration form, the questionnaire that I added in the beginning. Hi, Jane. And 79, I just want to go through these, of the highest percentage of things, of goals that people wanted from the list that you checked. 79%, 79.4% wanted to lose weight. My timer is going to go off in just a second, and I'm hoping my husband will hear it and turn it off for me. And 71.7% wanted improved health, and 71.7% also wanted to improve eating habits, and 69.2% wanted to gain consistency with healthy behaviors. So those were the highest numbers. So people wanted to lose weight, they wanted to gain more consistency with behaviors, they wanted to improve their health, and they wanted to improve their eating habits. Just one second. Sean, will you please turn off the timer for me? And so now my dog's gonna bark. So anyway, I'm taking you with me because I don't think he's listening to me. So what's important about this is in the very beginning of the program, in the very beginning of the program, or the very beginning of this group, I really strongly encouraged you, and the focus that I was having for you was to create a schedule. I mean, honestly, the schedule, we spent 2 weeks there, and that was whatever day of the week. I think Sunday's the best day. I look at the week. What is your schedule going to be like? What are the obstacles? You have to plan and prepare for your obstacles. And the thing that is the most common reason that people give for not exercising or meal prepping is that they don't have time. And really, if you're not looking at your schedule, then you don't know where your cracks are. You don't know where you can fit things in. If you're just letting things happen, if they happen, then you don't have time because you don't know where your time is going. So it really is important because then you can see it and you can see where you can fit things in. So that scheduling, if you did use that, even if that was the one thing that you focused on for the last 3 weeks, you had success. I can guarantee. You don't even need to comment. You don't need to give a thumbs up. You don't need to get a heart, whatever. If you did that, then you saw success. You gained consistency. You overcame obstacles. You got things done that you hadn't done in the past as far as your eating and your exercise. There's no way you couldn't have. You're probably not, if you're just starting or just trying to incorporate some of this, you didn't lose all the weight you wanted to, and you're not have the health status that you're hoping for, but you are on the right track. It's a continuum, and you are on the path of success, and that's key. So if you were focusing on that, then I know that you had success. But if you weren't, then I'm going to encourage you to do that. But it also is something that if you still were struggling, you really need to look at what your goals are. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but sometimes I think I know that we set goals that are either unrealistic and it's going to provide you information. I had to change my training plan because my schedule was, once I got into it, it was different than what I thought. So I needed to implement things that were doable, that were reasonable, that I could get done with the way that my life is right now. So by looking at that schedule, that's going to aid in helping you make realistic goals. But I also think that people focus on the long-term goal. So the long-term goal of weight loss, well, that's very vague. And how much weight do you want to lose, and how much per week, and how are you going to do that? So there's a lot more into that, and improving your health. That might come along with the weight loss. Maybe the weight that you're carrying is kind of setting you to taking you to a place that is going to be unhealthy. Your eating habits, well, improving eating habits, that's probably going to help with your weight loss, and I know it's going to help with improve your health. Gaining consistency with health behaviors. Consistency is doing something for 3 months. 3 months is just the beginning of forming a habit. 6 months, after 6 months, then that habit becomes maintenance. But you are still, it's not just a 1 month. Now you're practicing some things, you're observing, and some of you are really gathering data. So data about yourself. So seeing how this is what I wanted to do and it didn't happen. Why? Are you analyzing your day? Are you seeing what it is? What are the days on the days that I worked out and the days that I ate well? What was going on? What helped with that? Was it the planning in advance? Was it that my schedule is this way? So maybe on the days that, gosh, this is the hard day for me. So maybe you're really asking too much of yourself. Maybe your workout needs to be smaller or shorter, more intense and less time, or maybe that's your rest day. And maybe you choose a program like Lift 4 that's 4 days a week because I can't get this 6 day a week thing in, and these workouts are too long. So really gathering data about yourself as you're learning. I'm a very advanced exerciser, and I'm a very mature eater as far as nutritionally speaking. I am always gathering data about myself. It doesn't end, because I want to be able to respond effectively to be able to achieve my goals. So I'm good at it because I've been gathering data for a long time and paying attention. So that's something too, is just appreciate that it wasn't a success or failure unless you don't take the information from it. You've got to learn from things that might be a failure. It didn't happen. Why didn't that happen? What are some changes, some actions that I can take in the future in order to achieve and to be more successful? But again, getting back to reevaluating your goals, maybe they're just not right for right now with what your life is doing, and so you're forcing yourself, you're putting yourself in a position to always feel, like I didn't get it done, I can't do it. So finding things where you can have success, and that is where your goals, rather than being these long-term goals. It's not bad to have long-term goals, but you're not going to get a long-term goal unless you have some short-term goals. And the short-term goals are going to build confidence, and you're going to be able to see that you are going in the right direction. And the short-term goals, as far as weight loss, well, maybe the weight loss isn't going to come right away, but the behaviors that you're doing are supporting weight loss, and your body hasn't released it yet. Your body is building lean tissue, which is more dense, and so your body composition is changing, but you're not seeing a difference on the scale. So by having some other things that you're collecting data and gathering information from, you're going to be able to notice other successes and other things, other changes and things that you really maybe either weren't expecting to happen, or they've kind of gone unnoticed because you didn't stop to pay attention and to appreciate what's going on, that you're just living a healthier lifestyle. Maybe you are sleeping better. Maybe you're noticing that you've got more patience with your children, or with your spouse, or with your coworkers. Maybe you're finding that you've got more energy. Maybe you're finding that you wake up in the morning a little more alert and a little brighter. Maybe you're finding that you are drawn more to vegetables and lean protein, and you don't really have those sugar cravings as much as you used to. Maybe you're finding that you're stopping and kind of thinking about your food choices, and normally you would have had another helping, but you aren't. Maybe your clothes are fitting a little differently. Maybe they're a little looser. Maybe they're a little tighter in some areas because you got some muscle instead of some squishy fat there. So there's a lot of other things that you need to be paying attention to as far as what living a healthy life is like. I went to a football game in North Dakota on Saturday night, and when I got out, it was so cold. It was just freezing cold, and the wind was just howling. And I have Raynaud's, so I lose circulation in my fingers and my toes. And I ran about 3/4 of a mile back to my hotel. And as I'm doing, I'm thinking, this is nothing. I mean, I can totally do this. So I'm not out for a workout, but my body is capable of running 3/4 of a mile at a pretty good pace and not feeling winded. That to me is healthy. I think that that's healthy. I want to be able to do that. So I do things that support that. So what you're doing, you need to be able to, you need to take a moment and look at what the things are, what other things are going on. Even that you packed your lunch and you didn't used to do that. Those are really important. And I'm going to upload this onto YouTube because I have to post this in the My Challenge Tracker. But what I'd like is for each of you that are watching this in Facebook, please comment below in this comment section where the video is something that you did for the very first time and you nailed it. That you nailed it. You were really good at it and you got it right away with no problem whatsoever. And if you're watching this on the YouTube, please go back to our challenge tracker and comment underneath where I'm posting the link to this video and do the same. I want to hear what is the thing or a thing that the first time you ever did it, you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. My guess is not very many people are going to be able to give me anything, because when you learn something new, it's hard, it takes effort. And that's the other thing as far as appreciating what you're doing. If you're doing something different, if you needed to make a change, because 79.4% of you wanted to lose weight, which means whatever you're doing wasn't working for you. And so you've got to change something, and change takes effort. So, but with that, consistency and habits, those are easy. They're easy. Good habits and bad habits. Habits are easy. So all you're doing is making that change and putting effort into creating a new behavior, a new habit that will be easy. So I really need to have more questions and feedback and things in order to respond to specific questions and offer you information. I've been putting it in the groups, and I haven't had much response. And so as far as coaching, I'm talking and telling, but I just can't imagine that all 39 people in this group don't have questions and don't wonder or aren't struggling with something, because I struggle. So let's nail this last week together. And if you do want to continue with the group, and if you weren't that engaged, I see Catherine on here, and Catherine was unable to really officially join the group this month. So I'm really hoping that she's going to be able to jump in here with something for next month. And if you want to do Lift 4, you do not have to be in the separate group. So if this is something that you would like to stay in, then you just need to let me know. But I will be posting the registration link. Again, that's information that I need to have as far as keeping track of things for the management side, the administrative side of this. Okay, so please let me know if you've got any questions. I hope that if you didn't feel like you were going strong, I hope that you aren't thinking that you're just going to start over next month, because there's always a tomorrow, but there's only one today. And so today's the day that you can do something, and it doesn't have to be big. Remember, those small things are more important than focusing on the big thing. Small things get you good places, and small things get you bad places. They both work the same. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I hope to hear some responses here and be able to get into a little bit more information and engagement here, okay? Have a great night.